So it is already April 25th of 2025, and we have all witnessed throughout the past couple of years a lot of failures by the Walt Disney Company. Snow White, by the way, being the latest example of what you do not want to do with a major production, with a major character, and really overly investing in something like this, that in the long run ended up making them lose money in the process. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Rachel Zegler right now is that we know that she's not taking the criticism well, especially due to the fact that it is now being rushed out of theaters, alright, at a very rapid rate, not just because of a Minecraft movie, but just because there's really just no demand for this movie at all, period. The box office is frozen at like 190 million some dollars wide at the box office. We're talking worldwide, not doing too well at all, and in fact, Disney is already creating a strategy of delaying the overall process of putting this on Disney+. They had an initial date selected. That's no longer going to be the case. They're looking for a new date right now to put this thing on streaming. So what's interesting about this further is that we know that Rachel Zegler continues to go on multiple rants and tirades as her way of coping with the fact that this movie just underperformed on a massive scale, and now she's firing back at yet more critics and against more of those within the general public, questioning this movie, bringing up their opinions about the film. And look, we have a lot of reason to actually criticize this movie. There's a lot of reasons out there to criticize it, based on the writing, the directing, the storytelling, the producing, the cinematography, everything across the board was just a flat-out terrible film. However, going back to Rachel Zegler here, is that with the Rachel Zegler backlash, of course, and herself still dealing with the ongoing backlash related to Snow White as it rapidly exits theaters from various movie theater chains, one significant development going on now involves more to do with Zegler going on yet another tirade after she was cancelled from not just numerous Disney movies that she was supposed to star in after Snow White, but also how Disney is cancelling and putting other projects on hold as well because of Snow White's poor box office and Rachel Zegler's behavior. Now, Zegler delivered the following: "No actress in this business deserves to deal with cancel culture," which is a terrible thing, by the way. Nobody, and I mean nobody, including myself, should have to deal with something like that all because a film did not meet expectations, whether it was financially or creatively. Our country's division, I deeply believe, played a very large role as to why we didn't meet the financial expectations with this film. There are many loud, opinionated people out there that are acting like they are fans of Snow White and called for a boycott for our innovative film that created a different version of the story. No actress should be canceled over sharing her political views as well either, and that is something that I refuse to apologize over. My political beliefs are my political beliefs, and if I want to express them, well, it's a free country. That's something I will never apologize for, and it shouldn't even be part of the argument over this film. After seeing the response that we received for this movie, it has become so clear to me now that we are dealing with a divided country over not just politics, but also over culture. The characters in fictional stories that so happen to come from different ethnic backgrounds seemingly bother people. I think it really put a spotlight on the role of bigotry and how it truly has been a big problem in this country for many years now, and how we need more educated women and men to understand that sometimes real-world issues and addressing politics is a very good and healthy thing to reach out to a wider margin of people when promoting some films. Cancel culture is also another growing issue that we really need to tackle, and I am unwilling to comment on the specifics of the experiences that I'm dealing with right now. But all I can say is this, that for an actress like myself, I really don't deserve such. All I did was express my politics, and if people have an issue with that, then maybe they just need to understand life better. We thankfully have many fans of Snow White, regardless of how it's reported to have missed its financial margin. Now guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about Zegler. She is making it abundantly clear that she has no regrets at all about her political comments before in the past, about how she literally shied away over half the country. We all remember what she said about Trump supporters, right? If you actually, are voting for this particular person, then you don't need my business. Don't see my movie. So right there, she sabotaged Disney's overall film. Disney producers were terribly upset with what happened there because of what she did, and that was irreversible. It was irredeemable at that point. You really could not fix anything at that point. That's why people actually were involved in the boycott. They were tired of Rachel Zegler's nonsense. And look, even now today, in April of 2025, toward the tail end of this month, she is not stopping at all. Now, we've all seen the paparazzi photos of her. I'm sure that you guys have come across them. She looks awful. I mean, she looks just like she lost everything in her life, because I think that's really what it boils down to right now. She believes that her acting career was everything. Well, she truly messed it up to a degree that no other actress that was up and coming, if you even want to say that she was up and coming, no actress ever really did it to this extent. So, this is a very interesting turn of events, the fact that she is not apologizing for her political beliefs and how she tied it with Snow White. Look, I'll say this. If you want to divide your political beliefs from a movie that you're actually promoting, then I guess that's okay, but it's still going to divide people. It's still going to alienate people that follow you. That's just a given fact. It's another thing to mix in politics with the same exact statement or the same exact press tour or way of promoting a movie such as Snow White. She holds no regrets over that. She's unwilling to apologize for that. And I think a lot of that stems from the fact that she's just given up at this point. She knows that Snow White is done and over with. There's no fixing this thing. Even Disney Plus is not going to save it at this point. We already know that people have zero interest of seeing this on Disney Plus. Right now, I'm sure Disney is banking on maybe there's like this one side of, you know, the quote-unquote, like what they like to call the silent majority that will actually be willing to go ahead and see this on Disney Plus. I don't believe so. I think that a lot of people on both sides want nothing to do with Snow White. But moving on, she goes on to close. This is a revolutionary film for powerful women and redefining what it means to be a man. It's what we really had to reinvent the Prince character for into something new with this film, and why Andrew really played the modern man that doesn't have to be a prince. He doesn't have to be the traditional hero. I think what Aaron, Mark, and Greta did, they did a wonderful job by redefining of what it means to be both a man and a woman in this version of Snow White, and I hold no regrets on how I took part in promoting this new tale. So again, she's dragging, like many actresses do, gender politics into all this nonsense. We know that Andrew Burnap, who played the character Jonathan, is not a prince in this movie at all whatsoever. He is a thief, he is a outlaw, he is something completely different from the 1937 original, and that's what Disney always typically does, right? They like to water down the male-oriented characters, apart from what they were established as before in previous iterations, right? And that is exactly what, you know, drove away a lot of people as well. But I would like to hear what everyone has to say about Rachel Zegler literally like not standing down, absolutely refusing to apologize, and holds no regrets over her previous political comments and how she mixed it in with Snow White. Overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about that, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.